This game is finally over. In my opinion, of a pretty good, thorough beatdown. Lakers beat the Dallas Mavericks, and the way that they did it was on the back of Luka Doncic, a homecoming. Coming back to his, the team that drafted him and traded him. I mean, this game was actually a kind of high profile. To start, they did like the Luka tribute. The city of Dallas really loved this guy. I never really, I guess, took that concept and wrapped my mind around it until tonight when I was like observing the way that Luka was kind of dealing with all the emotions of being in Dallas for the first time since he got traded away. And like you could see him struggling, the watering eyes, the quivering lip and all of that. It was incredible to actually see that. And he played inspired. It brought out the best of him. He was killing the Dallas Mavericks. He clearly made a point to kill him. Nico Harrison was in the crowd, the GM that traded him away. The Lakers, that's a more talented team. Luka was the most talented player in the game, clearly. And it not only happened the way I would expect to have to, I think even beyond it. Luka had like 31 points in the first half. And he really didn't stop. He was still very effective in the second half. But let's look at some of the angles of the game. All right, so the first half, the Mavericks actually were in the game, right? The Mavericks were up by 4 after 1. I think in the second quarter, the Lakers started to heat up a little bit. Not just Luka participating, right? It was a little bit more balance, getting some points from some other guys. I'll talk more about the individual efforts, but they were able to score pretty well in the second quarter. And they actually took the lead, I believe. I think they were up by 3 going into halftime. And then in the third quarter, the Lakers, it wasn't like the Lakers' offense was incredible, but their defense was much better. And the Mavericks had a hard time scoring. And then basically in the fourth quarter, it was more of the same. Final score 112-97. The Lakers shot 47% from the field, the Mavs 49%. The Lakers were 33% from 3. The Mavs were 34%. Neither team shot the 3-ball very well. Free throws, kind of sort of similar, where the game was won and lost. For the Lakers, they were able to out-rebound the Mavericks, especially on the offensive glass. They did a nice job there. And then the turnovers, just way too many turnovers to the Mavericks. And the reason why that matters is because the Mavericks don't have the talent to keep up with the Lakers. So you don't have that margin of error. Very, very slim. So they had too many turnovers. The Lakers actually did a nice job taking care of the ball. When they take care of the ball, they usually win. When they turn over the ball, they usually lose, right? So it was a nice job of them taking care of the ball. I think LeBron only had 2 turnovers tonight, and I think both of them happened early in the game. And then Luka only had 3 turnovers. I think those are recipes for success for the Lakers. When your primary ball handlers, 5 turnovers between the two of them, you're doing pretty good. All right, Luka, 45 points overall in the game. 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He had 4 steals. A lot of people aren't going to mention that, but he had a monster game. He was looking to get steals. He was playing the passing lanes, got a couple entry pass steals. He was 7 of 10 from 3. He was hot. Yeah, he got whatever he wanted. He was focused on killing the Mavs tonight and making sure that the Mavericks organization understood that they effed up. You know what I mean? LeBron had a really good game, mostly just the second half. He had 27 points, 0 for 4 from 3. He was 11 of 20 from the field. He was doing a nice job of getting to the rim, streaking, slashing to the rim, and guys found him, and he did a nice job to finish some plays. Again, he only had 2 turnovers. He had 3 assists. He had a steal. He had 7 rebounds. So he was contributing to winning, and he was actually playing some decent defense. So that was all part of that calculus. 15 points from Rui. That was nice. He did a nice job playing some defense too. Austin Reeves, 11. Kind of quiet night for him. Not much off the bench for the Lakers, but they didn't really need it. Luka was it tonight. Luka was happening. And the Mavericks, outside of Najee Marshall, it was pretty much an underperformance across the board. Anthony Davis, 13 points. That ain't going to get it done. PJ Washington had a couple nice moments, but he turned the ball over 5 times. That's too much. Up in the air on defense, too much. Off the bench, Daniel Gafford was decent. Max Christie had a couple nice moments. It's not going to get the job done. The Lakers, just from a fundamental competitive edge, just don't have the horses to keep up with a team like the Lakers. The Lakers have one of the most potent starting lineups in the NBA because, you've got the trio of Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. It's just too much. I mean, even if the Mavericks were at full power, right? Let's say they had a healthy Kyrie. This was going to be a game that they were going to have a very hard time winning, So, good win for the Lakers. Obviously, they're still trying to get the best seeding that they can in the West. Amazing showing by Luka. The Dallas Mavs fans still adore this guy. The Lakers fans traveled for it. The fans showed their appreciation for Luka. You could see they were really connected to this dude. Luka was connected to the city. He was devastated by being traded. He looked defeated when he was traded, and he did that press conference, and all that kind of came to a T. And I think what's good for Luka is now at this point, this is official for him, right? He turns the page on the rest of his career, and he's a Laker now. And I think this is how, something like that, just kind of, you turn the page on that chapter of your life and you move on as a professional. Huge monster game. He showed incredible, immense amounts of creativity in how he was scoring tonight. Threes, fadeaways, floaters, layups, getting to the rim. Some really fancy passes. He had a really solid game. He kicked Nico Harrison in the nuts tonight. And you know what? Nico Harrison deserves it because Nico Harrison traded him. So you get what you give, right? Anyways, I'm happy. I'm really happy for Luka. It's a great game for him. And I think for the rest of the way, look for Luka to have a really good playoff run. As long as he takes care of the ball, continues to kind of focus on, playing his best, not turn over the ball, but I also think managing his emotions. You didn't see him yelling at the refs that much tonight, right? So that's good. Good sign. Good win for the Lakers. This puts them... where does that put the Lakers in the standings? The Lakers hold the third spot, I think, in the West. They're probably going to end there because I think the Rockets are locked in for 2. They're trying to hold off the Clippers, who are 1 game back. The Nuggets are 1 game back. And I think the Warriors and the Grizzlies are all 1 game back. The Wolves are 2 games back from the Lakers. So there's a lot of, this is pretty crazy. The way that this could shake out. Any team that is currently between 3 and 7, all of them can move between 3 and 7. We'll see how it all ends up. I know the Nuggets are playing tonight, but let me know what you guys thought of the game. What'd you think of Luka's performance? What'd you think of the Lakers' performance? Good one for them, in my opinion. Luka was amazing. This is almost a perfect game for him, right? Can't think of a better ending to tonight. Looking at how Luka performed and him getting the win. Like, share, subscribe. Check out some more of our videos. We'll see you guys on the next one.